What is up, y'all? How is everybody? I'm good. I am just getting out of work. We had a nice busy night at the restaurant. We were very messy. All of us kept dropping things and spilling things and spraying things everywhere tonight by accident. We were just like clumsy messes, but it was fun. It was just a good, fun, busy night. But yeah, we are here for our weekly manifestation oracle reading, where we like to touch base to see what we need to be aware of in regards to our goals and our dreams and our manifestations, how we can expand into our fullest potential, and how we can overcome our shortcomings and self-defeating tendencies. So let us see what we need to know for the week ahead. I feel like there's something. Oh yeah, just like I gotta water my garden. I've been watering my garden at night, and I decided to do it after the video because I wanted to get the video posted a little earlier. But yeah, I'm a big gardener. I love doing it. I'm not necessarily good at it, but I'm very enthusiastic. But it does add like an extra hour to my night, and I've been going to bed a little later, and then I have to get the same amount of sleep or else I'm dead. So I don't know, I was just like noticing that I was starting to sleep a little later and I don't like it. So I'm trying to tighten up my routine, but I'm also trying to make our videos shorter. So I'll hop to it. Our first card, I love this, is Dream Big. I love this so much. Let go of small thoughts about yourself and see yourself succeeding. This has been coming up recently, pretty consistently. And I feel like our lunations and our lunation workshop for the new moon and full moon, and then also in our manifestation weekly readings, I feel like we've been encouraged to just dream big. Even in our weekly oracle energy forecast, we pulled dreams card, and it was depicting like this profile of a cranium that was blooming with all kinds of flowers and blooms for ideas and dreams and sweet thoughts in your head. So the universe is really encouraging us to like dream big. Don't think small, be optimistic, believe in yourself, believe in your dream. Don't hold yourself back. Don't limit yourself. Don't doubt yourself. A lot of themes have been coming up recently that it's only our limiting beliefs that have been holding us back, and that it's a matter of just not having enough of a sense of deservingness or self-worth, or just like having the confidence in ourselves. So really just like cast off your worries, cares, and scarcity. And I mean, it's like you're in your imagination. So go ham, like, spring for the crystal over the, whatever, like the Corbel. Dream big. Don't short yourself in your dreams. Explore your options. It's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make changes. So yeah, we are really beginning a new cycle. We're dreaming big. We are setting off onto a new journey. The energy this week has just been really shifting, and it's like the hero has been called to adventure again. And so that means we're once again leaving the village and going out and pursuing, maybe there's a different approach to what you've been trying to do. Or maybe there is something additional that you need to do. Like I feel like I need to get on TikTok, right? I know I need to do this. But it's just trying to figure out like how to shift my day around and my schedule so that I can make these videos here. But also it's like I need to make a separate video for TikTok because we talk, in different links here. TikTok's shorter. So I feel like it would be different content, but like it's kind of the same idea. So it's just like, okay, how do I figure out how to restructure my habits and my days, right? And then like not getting too pigeonholed or like tunnel vision with something. Just keep your options open and explore different ideas and different avenues. Be flexible and adaptable. Don't be too rigid or too stuck on one thing. Because sometimes if we get stuck on one thing, like it can cause resistance, right? Like every now and then, if I get really busy and then I end up just having like a chill day and I don't try that hard, and I just kind of like take a mental break from like the channel and, you know, content creating, and I'm just sort of like a little bit lax, then it's kind of like those days that like somebody randomly like reaches out and wants to book a session. And it's that release, it's that surrender, and it's that like putting, you know, your attention on something else that's going to bring you joy as well. So look at many possibilities, make changes where you need to, but yeah, right now it's like this is the prime time to make changes because we're starting a new cycle. So we're trying to do this like as the new version of ourselves that is incorporating all of the experience and lessons and wisdom, and we're trying to really take our time and choose and act with intention. And so yeah, this is a great time to make changes because it's like you won't experience something different unless you bring a different approach, right? The definition of insanity is doing things the same way and expecting a different results. So yeah, if you want to change your life and you want to do things differently and you want a different experience, then you're going to have to show up differently and do things differently. Accept heaven's help. You've prayed for help, so get out of the way and let heaven help you. So, right, like this shift in energy was so sudden to me that the way that I described it in the anchor message for the week is that it feels like, do you know when you're watching a movie or a show and the first opening like sequence or even the first episode if it's in a show might be like taking place like, I don't know, like say like these characters are like at war or they're like in some kind of like conflict or like crazy like action sequence and everything's so intense, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, like this is the story, like oh my gosh, like oh we're in it, you're so lost in like the chaos. And so then it's like the scene shifts or like maybe the next episode it's like you're in another time and like the characters are just like sitting and having a meal or like coffee calmly, like, and it's like a nice like comforting daylight coming through a window and it's all quiet and you're like, wait, what happened? Like, are we going to go back to that energy or is this the story now? Like, are we gonna keep cross-cutting back and forth in the chaos, or is this like just like memories for reference to like figure out what's happening now? Or like, was that like setting this up and like for this to just be like what it is, you know what I mean? So I feel like it was like chaos, crazy, and then all of a sudden it's like, and morning breakfast, like a gentle sunblade warms, the room, a flower is on the table, eggs, it's like suddenly everything's so calm and good and serene. Something seems wrong. But it's like, no, you asked for heaven's help, like all of the self-help and like the healing work and the things that you've been trying for and like praying for. Like it's kind of like things are settling down and like they might be like finally like evening out and taking shape and filling out, So like just get out of the way. When the ego is used to having like chaos and suffering and pain and just kind of like this sense of ominous, like foreboding, like doom on the horizon, and then all of a sudden like your life just sort of changes and then like everything's good and you're like, wait, it's like you get creeped out, you're spooked, you don't want to let your guard down, and you're like, oh, any minute, as soon as I relax, the rug is going to get ripped out from under me, right? And you're like looking over your shoulder and you're like looking around every corner, like at foreboding joy. Yeah. And I think that like, it's like when we get like all uptight about things and we have this anxiety, this disembodied anxiety, because we're not used to not having chaos that we can point at, right? When things are calm and things are still, and you've been used to like being on a boat that's been rocking like in a storm, or right? So like you still feel the waves even though everything is still. right? If you've ever been on a boat for a few weeks and you get off, it's like you got to get your land legs back, and you still feel those waves, but they're just phantom waves. And so don't let the phantom waves freak you out and make you sort of like short circuit for no reason by either freaking out and getting like suddenly spooked and afraid and thinking like everything's about to like go wrong, or like projecting something on to like circumstances that aren't there, you know, like just looking for something to be wrong when it's not, or trying to like overfix something that's like not broken yet, you know, just don't freak out. I saw a video one time. I don't know if I saved it or not, but it was like the best. I'll go through and dig through my Instagram archives, but it was the perfect meme for life. It's like, you know, it was like no one blank, and then it's like me. But it was like this video of a cat calmly eating out of a bowl of food. And then like in front of the bowl of food, there was like some kind of like weird like string or like tripwire or something that was like stretched in front of the cat. And it was like the cat was all calm and just eating the food, but then like suddenly for no reason this cat just like flipped out and then like fell over the bowl of food into this like wire, got all tangled up, fell off of the table. And it was just like, yeah, that's so us. That's so life. It's like, oh, everything's fine. I'm just sitting here calmly eating my cat food. Oh my God. I'm like throwing myself into this like obstacle and trap and like this booby trap snare. Just stay calm. Keep calm, carry on. Don't freak out. Heaven is helping, and continue to say prayers out loud. I have found that to be one of the most profound and powerful acts and practices that I have put into play in recent years. And so at least for the last year, if not for most of the time that we've been doing this channel, which is now going on, it's like 1.5 years now. So which is a great time for you to like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, or even just leave an emoji. Any little action that you take will help me get these videos into the algorithm where other people can like see the video titles and connect with them and get messages for them. We want to spread these out for the people who need them, and you can make a difference just by like watching this video, but then making an even bigger difference just by like clicking the button, which means you need to be signed in. So if the reason why you haven't been liking or commenting is because you're not signed in, then I would challenge you to learn your sign information and just do me that solid. Okay, you guys, the next card is really good. Make a wish, dream big. Ask for heaven's help, explore your options, right? Stay in a state of surrender. And like when you manifest something, I think this is, I'm so glad this was the connection. So the universe takes the path of least resistance. So the best way to manifest things is to get clear on like your non-negotiables, your preferences versus like deal breakers kind of things. Get really clear on what it is that you want and the essence of what it is that you want, and know the important details, but then like be really detached from the exact package that it shows up in. Might be like not exactly the company that you wanted, or it may not be the person in front of you that you hope it will be, but it may be a person, you know, with those qualities, right? So it's like you've got to give the universe options to send you what is going to be ultimately fulfilling. So yes, it's good to be specific about essence, about how you want to feel, about what you want from the experience, but leave the details of the exactly who, exactly what, exactly when, and exactly how. Keep those options open for the universe, right? Because we think that we know, but we dream small for ourselves. So dream big. You know, my Kabbalah teacher, David, was talking about King David. And we were talking about, like in class, he was talking about prayers. And, you know, how do you know if you're praying for like the right thing for yourself, or if you're asking for something that's not in your highest good? And so what he was saying is that, maybe I just made this connection or he did, but King David would pray for whatever it is that he wanted, whether it was good or bad. Didn't ask for permission or apology. He just made his heart, poured it out to the Creator, and let the Creator make the choice, right? Ultimately surrendered to the will of the Creator. But if I have a ruthers, this is what I'd like. Same for us. Pray for what you desire. But then also pray for the highest good of all. And this or something better, right? Ultimately, Creator, I know that you know what's going to be ultimately the most fulfilling for me. What is in the most alignment? What my ultimate destiny could look like if I got out of my own way. So this is what I want. And if it is in alignment with my soul's unfoldment and evolution, then this is what I want. Please bless that for me. Thank you for like making the way and unblocking, whatever. But if it's not, then I surrender this to you. I would rather have what's in my highest good. And so I don't know what's best for myself. I know what I want, and I know that manifestation does not happen without desire, right? So like, might as well be honest about your desire, right? You can't manifest without desire. So you desire what you want for a reason. It's not to say that we don't have like tikkun process that shapes and, kind of influences our desire. And also our ego interruption that sort of distracts us from desire or just, sends us in another direction or dangles, desires that would actually steer us away from the ultimate fulfilling thing or whatever. So yeah, there are things like that we have to navigate around. Tests from the universe, right? Like to see if you'll settle or if you'll hold out for the thing that you ultimately want. So it can be a little confusing, but ultimately that's why you say the prayer, right? You involve God. It's good to end with amen. Baruch Shem kavod Malchuto le'olam va'ed is something that you say under your breath to seal the prayer and keep it from being intercepted by the adversary or the dark side. There's negative angels too that are always tripping you up, because when we're born, we have a fated path, which is, okay, this is the cards you're dealt. But we have the destiny path, right? The destined path is the one where we come online and we're awakened and we consciously choose. So the choices that we make can lead us on to our destined path, which is for our higher fulfillment. But if we don't make those decisions and we don't step up in those times of challenge or whatever, if we drop the ball, then we stay in the fated life, right? So put the desire out there, do everything you can, stay in integrity, and give the rest over to God. Let Jesus take the wheel. Baruch Shem kavod Malchuto le'olam va'ed, and amen. Make a wish. This is a magical moment. Make a wish and enjoy its manifestation. So yeah, pray out loud to the Creator. Unburden your heart. Let the Creator know what your ultimate desire is, and then release that wish, that will, to the care of the higher self and the Creator. And if it's in your highest good, then your higher self and the Creator and the Holy Spirit and all of our spiritual team will work together to try to direct us into this path of unfoldment. Because, we have some choices in this life, and then some choices we don't have. There are certain people and characters that we are going to have these soul contracts play out with. And there are certain experiences that are going to play out. And there are certain places that we are going to live, and our family, and there are certain things that we don't get to choose. But then there are the things that we get to choose. But one thing we do get to choose, the only thing that we really own, is our desire, right? We have a desire, and that sort of tempers what our thoughts are going to be like, right? And how we react and relate with our thoughts and our energy, depending on the experience that we're having. And so we can control Like the initial thoughts that come into our mind, maybe the ones that pop in we can't control, but we can control whether we put our attention onto those thoughts, or we let those thoughts go and we choose to cultivate better thoughts in our mind. Our thoughts are our consciousness. So that tempers the way that we perceive things and the way that we interpret the world. It's called our hermeneutic lens. And then, all of that, what our consciousness and what's going on in our mind, it sets our mood, and our moods determine, like, they affect our feelings, and our feelings kind of start affecting, like, just kind of how we are and our countenance and, like, our vibe, right? So all of that, that's in our control. It's like how we react to life, how we respond. That is what we do have control over. And those things, those moments, those choices, the way that we show up after that tells the scales, right? Which side the energy is going to. Did you, in these decisions and actions, reveal sparks of light by transcending your negativity so that the light goes onto the side of good? Or did you short circuit? And did you fall back into, like, reactive patterning and negativity? And did that energy just go to the side of the negative side, right? So that those negative actions, they create angels too, that create chaos and work against you. But your positive actions and your positive effort and your prayers and those things and the acts of sharing and overcoming your dark side, overcoming your shortcomings, those reveal sparks of light that create positive angels, which are positive forces of energy that help you. And the more passion and energy and fervor that you put into these actions, like, the stronger the positive angels are, right? They're not like characters, but they're like forces of energy that are working and helping you. The more anger and bitterness and negativity and spite and, malice that goes into your negative actions, like, the more powerful that those negative influences are going to be on your life. So, be mindful of how and what you're doing with your energy and your thoughts, right? But I think overall, we're really shifting, and we're really getting to know how to have awareness and self-control over those things. And because of that, we're having, like, dream big, make a wish, like, say your prayers, let heaven help you, keep your options open so that manifestations can come through and opportunities can come through. And worthiness. Know that you deserve to receive good in all ways. So the final piece of the puzzle, in always, is, do we have the self-worth to receive that manifestation? So we'll be tested, right? Are you going to hold on to your self-worth that you've cultivated? Or are you going to settle? These tests get very fine-tuned the more work that you do, and they're very subtle, and they're they're kind of hard to read which way to go in sometimes. But a good way to test this out is if you feel like you're being, like, if your boundaries are being, like, put upon, and you've communicated them and they're being, taken advantage of. If you are in a situation that you would feel ashamed if somebody knew about it, like you feel like you want to hide it, or like you don't want, like, anybody to know, like, that might be a signal that, like, this is, like, not really up to par with, like, a high value person. But yeah, the universe, we were talking about it this week, the Magick dark, or creation phase 3, as it talks about in Kabbalah. The Magick dark is the way that to be magnetic refers to this moment of quiet before a manifestation comes through. And for Kabbalah, this is creation phase 3. But basically, what this period is a period of, after you have been through quite a few tests, and you have been through a lot of, like, unblocking your subconscious, you've been doing a lot of healing work, In Kabbalah, it'd be like you've been putting in like the effort, and you've been like burning the wick at both ends, and you've been putting all your passion into whatever it is that you're putting your hand to. And you've been overcoming yourself and your ego, and you've been, elevating your consciousness, and you've been going outside of your comfort zone, and you've been, like setting strong boundaries and also being sharing, and like, just finding your balance, right? And it's like you put yourself on the line, and you did it all, and you said the thing, and it's like still crickets. It's like, what is it going to take for like this to happen, or for something to go through, or like what more needs to, and it's like nothing's coming through. And it's like, why is everything so quiet? It's like when the wave recedes before like the huge wave comes crashing, it's a really weird time, because you're like, and the universe is just giving you that one last test that's like, are you gonna like freak out and like spoil your appetite on McDonald's before you get the good thing? Or like, are you gonna like freak out and like settle for a job you don't want just because like, you're just scared the other one's not gonna come through? Like, what is it really? Are you like, what do you need to hold out for? Or what do you need to stay strong for? In Kabbalah, we talk about practicing restriction, right? And it's not the same as repression, but it's self-control, till something has a solid legs or solid foundation, so that you could build the vessel, right? To receive the light and maintain it and have the fulfillment of it. And so that's the earning process, right? It's like building a company, but really appreciating that company that you build so much more than, say, when you sell that company and the person that takes over the company doesn't actually continue to have a successful company because they're not putting in the same passion. They don't know the company the way that you do, right? So it's like, to earn the vessel, to build the vessel, it's like you put effort into something. You invest into it, right? And you're investing into yourself. You're investing into your dreams. So the vessel, like the quality and the strength of the vessel, the size of the vessel is going to be based on your self-worth. How much can you contain? How much can you receive? How much are you worth, right? How much do you feel that you're worth? And the sturdiness of the vessel to be able to contain it and sustain it without freaking out is your faith. It's the level of your faith, of your certainty, because otherwise you have that foreboding joy. What we were talking about at the beginning of the video, that feeling like, oh, this is too good to be true. Oh, like this can't be. And then you have like these self-fulfilling prophecies, or like you're overly paranoid or suspicious, like every second that like something's going to go wrong, until it does, because you've been looking for it to happen and probably adding a lot of tension and like volatility to a situation with just anxiety and tension when there didn't need to be. So worthiness is the word of the day. You guys, dream big, don't hold back, right? You're worth it. Things are possible for you. Why wouldn't you be worth the universe giving you your purpose in your dreams, right? Everyone has their own bit of happiness set aside, right? But everyone also has their own bit of darkness set aside also. And we go through different lifetimes where, we process things at different rates. And so maybe it seems like not everybody has the same amount, but they might have had another amount in another life, right? So we have whatever we have to balance out in this life. And so, yeah, everyone has happiness set aside. Everyone has shit they have to deal with. But one of the things that is like paying our rent for being in this physical world is taking that shit and turning it into gold, right? Our experiences, we take what we can from them and we try to heal the rest. Our talents, we do what we can with those. And even our weaknesses, it's like we try to embrace them and strengthen them and overcome the toxicity of them so that we can actually heal them into positive traits or tweak them, reintegrate and accept the self. Okay, I am just going to ramble on more and more if I don't put it into this. So dream big, know that you're worthy. Let the keep your the details specific, the essence specific, but the who, what, why, when, and where, leave it to the universe. Give the universe options so that it has multiple portals of delivery. Accept heaven's help. So use your prayer practice, speak your prayers out loud, and you can finish them by saying very quietly under your breath, Baruch Shem kavod Malchuto leolam vayed. Amen. And I can't remember the exact translation, but I think it's like glory and power be to the creator, and something about the kingdom and the power. It's, I don't have it on, it's on my phone. I don't have the English translation right now, but if you want to look it up, or, I don't know, it's probably not that, if I remember, I'll put it in the description box below in the copy. All right, you guys. Well, I am going to water my garden and eat dinner and chill and unwind. But I hope y'all have a good night and a good day tomorrow or today or whenever you're watching this. And the next video, we will talk about our midweek reading to you know, what we're doing with our lessons that we're learning this week. All right, y'all. Ciao.